Peters in the 17. Meanwhile, we continue to watch this battle for the 6th position, and there goes Peters around.
Right in front of Matt Crafton.
Get it rolling if you can.
How early is too early, Adam?
6 laps is too early.
They were running back in the 10th side by side. Look at that, the group behind him. Timothy just goes around on the outside.
He just went in there dead even with Erik Jones. And what a job by Matt Crafton to avoid Timothy Peters. Yeah, Timothy really just drove in the corner, just got a little bit loose on the outside of Erik Jones. An unbelievable job by Matt Crafton. Let's take a watch from Matt Crafton's onboard camera here. I don't know how he's going to stop here on a dime to miss Timothy Peters.
Look at that, he knows.
And he was already in the throttle.
Crafton knows.
Surprised that the leaders came down the pit lane. We'll tell you what happened on pit road in a moment. First, the reason we're under caution.
Just on the outside, just got a little bit loose, just like Timothy Peters early on. Didn't have much grip out there.
You can see Bobby Pierce in the 63 just ahead of him in that first replay. Got sideways as well. That outer groove is treacherous here.
But one thing you really can't do much here is run 3 wide, and watch this right here.
We've certainly seen it tried a lot. Paige Decker minding her own business up on the outside, and a couple of them tried to crowd in underneath of her and spins Paige around.
Really hurt Greg Galding, who was running 10th.
Well, he had to pit, and I think it's an interesting point of the race, Phil. I mean, we don't have enough tires just to pit every 30 laps, and I don't think I've ever seen at Martinsville on the Truck Series tires be so important. Those guys were falling back on those used tires.
Yeah, we know the 54 is going to come to pit road. Greg Galding, there's another view of this. Spencer Gallagher dove to the inside. Gray had already committed to the bottom of the 74.
Way in that inside the top 3. Timothy Peters went all the way to the back after that spin, and now he's climbed to the front.
Well, he started 29th at lap 11, and there goes Daniel Suarez, punted out of the groove. No caution yet. There it is, 4th of the day.
Contact from his teammate. Watch Erik Jones on the inside in that 4 truck.
Well, it looked like maybe Suarez was going to try to swing to the bottom, didn't it?
Just battle for space a little bit there.
This is a big break for Gray Galding, I think. I believe he will get the free pass and back on the lead lap. He got lapped on pit road during our last caution when he stopped up in the corner to miss Paige Decker. And I believe he left him room.
I think it,
down.
I don't think he hit the curb either. I just say 88.
I think the spotter probably recommended he make that move. Oh, what's wrong with Peters? Off the pace, off turn 4.
Second time he's had an issue today. Spun early, and now off the pace after restarting inside the top 10. Contact there with a 5, and around goes Peters for the 2nd time today.
Get it fired up if you can.
Dalton Sargent had nowhere to go.
What a day it's been for Timothy Peters. Time, Michael, we only have 115 laps to go. That's when it happened right there. And it's amazing that Brandon Jones at 33 was able to avoid him along with everybody else. Obviously, we got down to the corner here. Dalton Sargent had nowhere to go. Timothy was in the middle lane, then turned down to the inside without power.
Timothy got his tires from his first spin on the last pit stop. So these are the tires he started the race on that he's spinning around on now.
Do you pit here? Pit road is open. Do you pit here and be done?
I'm not sure they can make enough fuel that far, even though we've had some caution laps. I hear some tires squealing there.
Down here in turn 1 and 2. That's the 32, J.J. Haley. 5th time, make it 6 now. 6 cautions on the day. He's only 16 years old.
Wow. And that shows you how fast you go in that corner when you don't have any brakes to stop you.
Happened right in front of John Hunter Nemechek, our race leader.
No banking to catch you. They call it 12 degrees. It always seemed like it was negatively banked to me.
Hard into the outside wall that truck went, and you know, we see these guys really
too impressed despite 2 issues on track. He is inside the top 10, and now caution number 7.
Back up if you can. Back up if you can.
West Townley.
You can check John West right there. The left rear tire is already down. It actually comes off the truck about the time he starts turning around. Daniel Suarez did an amazing job of getting by 2 owners' championships. Yes, maybe not a driver's championship, but he's been very much involved in a little contact. Timothy Peters around again.
Dalton Sargent got him going into turn 3. It's going to be caution number 8, and it comes out with 45 laps to go, and I would guess Peters isn't going to be happy.
Your position.
Look at Sargent. It was just an opening that he couldn't keep from trying to get into. Sauter opened the door. Timothy tried to close it, and Dalton Sargent was committed to the bottom.
Johnny Sauter makes the move on Peters. Timothy was going to try to get in between them. Dalton Sargent obviously realized what was happening. He said, hey, I've got the 17 on the outside. I've got to make it happen right now. Did nothing wrong.
That's Martinsville.
Yeah, and Timothy knew there was a good chance.
The last 40 laps, now 30 at Martinsville. We expect to have several restarts, so keep your nose clean, but don't be afraid to stick it in, and now we're going to have one of those restarts because we've got a yellow on the course.
Right on cue. 9th caution of the day. He's 16th, which means he'll restart in the outside lane. Not what you want here.
Just got away from him a little bit, just trying to carry too much speed on exit. Jones now up in the top 12. Oh, and another caution flag we're going to get.
The 5 of Dalton Sargent making his 3rd career start here today. 17-year-old out of Boca Raton, Florida. That late pit stop for Jones proving to be big. Strong in that outside lane. Green flag waving with 15 laps to go.
Nemechek got in too far. He's going to lose a lot of ground.
There goes Reddick to the inside. Caution is out once again as they wreck behind him. The 54 of Gray Gaulding having a problem.
Trucks, where was he when the caution flew?
Was it good, though, for Nemechek? Because if he's scored 3rd when the caution came out, that would put him on that all-important
that might be okay.
lane.
We heard Kyle Busch say, whatever you can do to make sure Eric restarts on the inside. Same situation for John Hunter.
Gray Gaulding just tried to take the low lane, and I think that was Tyler Young that was in there, and there just wasn't room for that move.
This mess you saw over in turn 1, all of it happening right behind Eric Jones.
He did so.
Little contact there. Caleb Holman drives it in. Cindric saves it somehow off the corner, but this is not going to work. 12th caution of the day. Multiple trucks involved on the back straightaway.
And Eric Jones was right in the middle of that and made it through it.
You know, now our scoring monitor is reset. And Jones, who was being shown 10th after working his way through the problems on the back straightaway, being shown in the 13th position.
Well, I think it'll reset again.
And now it has.
Look at Eric Jones right there in the middle of those trucks.
Does he have damage, Phil? He was being squeezed on both sides. Wow.
Definitely has some damage, whether it's rubbing the tires or not, I don't know. See, Caleb Holman had a hole there. He dove in it on the inside of Austin Cindric. Austin did a nice job saving that truck, but then they came along too wide beside him on the outside.
That's
Down. Easy, get middle. Get up. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stay middle. Keep coming. Yellow's out.
Yeah. And he had to go. He had to get in the throttle and push Austin Cindric on around.
Look at him. That's just some great driving by Jones. He was doing everything he could to work his way through. Looked like the whole world was going to end right in front of him, but he squeezes through.
And as that tire wears out, you just lose all rear grip.
Mike Lynette was running 32nd. And around he goes. No contact with that outside wall.
This is the other issue. Why do tempers flare at Martin?
In line tight. Going to be a wreck in 3 and 4. Going to be a wreck in 3. Caution.
And sure enough, Joey Meyer calls it the 11 involved. Denny Hamlin around and bringing out the 4th caution at Martinsville. That was live.
You see that inside lane stacks up. And the chain reaction, it stacks all the way back until the 11 gets into the back of the 43, and you can see behind them, these cars just can't get slowed down. That's why we talk about the fight for the bottom. Well, what happens is at the end of the straightaway, when a car dives to the bottom, that checks the whole line up. It's basically like changing lanes on the interstate in traffic. That lane stops, the other lane rolls, and you see the chain reaction. As everyone jams on the brakes, finally you get back 3, 4, 5 cars that couldn't get slowed down.
And you can't see it. When you're 5 rows behind where it starts checking up, you do not see it. So
he's coming down into turn 3, so he has some damage already, and you just see the car just goes straight.
8 cars were involved in that incident that took place with Denny Hamlin, Danica Patrick, Sam Hornish Jr.
Give me another corner. I'll get you behind Harvick. Inside. Here you go. Spin in 3 and 4. Caution. Caution, caution. Car is stuck on the curb in 3 and 4. It may not be moving. All right, it's moving. Track will be clear around the corner.
Cycling the tires. You see here Sam Hornish Jr. trying to get down into turn 3. Looks like he's 3 wide, and the 98 gets forced down over the curb and really just comes up into the side of the 9 car. Nothing I think Sam Hornish could do.
Ryan Preece trying to shorten the short track. I don't know if I've seen anyone come on the inside of the curb before.
I've seen some people
Strategy to almost give up a spot here at Martinsville. Not something you normally want to do, but you don't want a driver pressuring you that hard early in the run either.
Greg Biffle went around coming out of turn 2. That brings the caution out once again. And Biffle had help, or Biffle helped someone. There were 2 cars back there. Biffle was the one pointed in the wrong direction.
She was trying to get in, and he just wasn't having any of it and pushed her right into the wall.
There's David Gilliland in the 38s, and then the issue with most recently Greg Biffle, Sam Hornish Jr. going through turns 2.
Greg just lost it. Tried to get the throttle down and came around on him.
And then on pit road, under the
about even on entry, the 4 doesn't gain a whole lot, but right about here where you get off the brakes, look at the 4.
and around goes the 18 of Kyle Busch. The 3 as well with Austin Dillon. The caution will come out.
All right.
Well, when we saw the 3 stay out on old tires, that was the one caveat to it, is he had to not only fight and hold his.
As they checked up in front of him, Carl Edwards running 16th. Got into the back of A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, it's hard to see. Well, you see right here, the 18. He just gets loose and comes up the track chasing. And he doesn't mean to get into the 3. He's sliding up the racetrack out of control, and the chain reaction got called.
Didn't we hear him say something about water on the
Water
apron?
on the apron.
Does he think that water caused this issue? Where he got in the corner and there's water on the racetrack? Let's see if there is water.
Down.
It almost looked like he got into the curb the way the steering wheel moved.
Stay bottom lane. Get it rolling. Stay bottom lane.
Again, as around goes to 15.
Out again.
Clint Boyer, hard contact with the back of that car into the wall. He was running 16th, and you see all.
Here's you see David Reagan all the way to the bottom of the backstretch trying to get into the 42. The 42 is trying to protect. And as he gets into the left rear of the 42 goes up to the racetrack, gets into the left rear of the 15. Clint Boyer probably had no idea he had those 2 cars underneath him.
And listen, it's lap 186. Okay, I know it's a fight to the bottom, but at the same time, you have to use, you have to give a little bit. You have to say, all right, I don't have this spot right now. It's okay to lift and not get in the back of somebody.
Right here, turning to the left of Kevin Harvick, going through lap traffic. Well, he gets 3 wide, but he lets Kevin Harvick go back in. That's a good point of give and take.
And just as Brad Keselowski went by the 4, the caution comes out for Greg Biffle. 6th different chaser to lead at Martinsville. This is Biffle around again on his own.
That looks almost identical to the first time he spun.
And he was quite a ways away from the curb that time. The last time he was right up against
The 8th mark. The driver came in, talked to the. Oh, and Biffle is around again, Rick.
Biffle around again. Look at all the damage to the front end of the 16. Caution out. Once again, this is the 11th caution. Road has gone green. And that's a very similar sight that we have seen today.
While he was underneath the 46 of Michael Annette, right in the middle.
Over Joey Logano, but a little bit further back in the pack, Kevin Harvick. Well, as we take a look at Kurt Busch here.
Yeah, Martin Truex Jr. basically, you're going to see this at a short track. He's on the outside of the chase car in front of him. He needs to go. Trevor Bayne is out there a few laps down. The 78 just has no patience.
Way up the racetrack, Kyle Fowler in the 32. Everyone else was running right around 21 seconds to maybe low 21s, and the caution has come out now.
Yeah, the 10
Danica Patrick around in turn 4.
Yeah, the pace had picked up, though.
This is picking up, and a tough situation for Danica Patrick as she comes down, and the 38 stops right in front of her.
Yeah, Danica.
And now they're not going to stop. It's not over.
Danica's upset at Gilliland from early in the race. Remember, the 2 got together, and Danica tried to pay her back, and pay him back, rather. And
The
Looks like a replay in opposite positions. The 10 gets behind the 38, runs the 38 up the racetrack.
Chases the 38 up the racetrack, and then around she goes.
That moved much earlier.
Caution in turn 4 for the 23. Jeb Burton around.
Now these cars aren't going to pit, so where were you running?
Jeb gets in the 38 a little bit and tries to get slowed down, and Sam Hornish is coming. They make contact. Jeb was running 32nd.
Just first. Still there.
Around goes the 20.
Keep coming, shove through it.
Kenseth around, out in front of the field. The 41 has damage. Joey Logano clears him, but the 2, incredible damage on the 2 of Brad Keselowski as well.
Took off slow. The 22 got up the racetrack. The 2 got in the back of the 22. They come off the corner, and the 20 and the 2 make contact. It's on from there.
Yeah, and the 41, it really has nowhere to go. They spin and catch the 41. He makes heavy contact with the inside wall.
It's coming off turn 2. There's the initial contact.
Look at the 41. It's a big hit. But, you know, this all started on the restart. They just didn't do as good of a job this time of making all the transitions work, and it got everybody checked up.
Outside 24, outside tight, right there in front of you. Keep coming straight.
Where the 41 hits, that inside wall, that's actually a new safer barrier there. It used to just be a concrete wall. And Kenseth cleared by Logano. Maybe no. Kenseth takes him out. Logano into the wall. Caution comes out and the crowd roars.
What we saw a couple weeks ago, I was the first to say I never expected that to happen out of the 20 car.
This is what just took place.
And clearly the 22 is lapping the 20, and 20 obviously intentionally wrecked him. And like what happened the week before was more than 2 weeks before was more than it should have been, and just flat wrecked him.
Kenseth already not having the day that he wanted to have. And the opportunity presented itself at a short track.
Still down there. Still down there. Still down there. Still down there.
Once the favorite for the title, Joey Logano out of his car. Matt Kenseth out of his car. It will be an interesting
take a look, see if AJ gives it to him.
Continues to get dark, and the caution has come out. David Reagan in the 55 around in turn 2. 15th caution. Austin Dillon on the inside of that 55. Contact made, and around he went.
Once again, somebody trying to block, getting in the corner.
And the 2 side by side getting into turn 1.
And around they go in front of him, and the caution will come out. The 9 of Sam Hornish Jr. stopped on the track. We will have a restart.